This is my 1999 Camaro. It is such a fun project car. Go get you one of these. They come with pre-busted taillights. Both sides. Very straight bodies. Very little dents besides like slight little dents slash dings in the fenders. Because most of it's metal. Right up in the hill it hits plastic. Comes with no cracks on the windshield, which is probably the only bonus. Some vinyl or something all over the hood. And a blown up V6 engine. You see in there? There's goddamn chocolate milkshake in there. This is crap. This is so stupid. And I gotta take the bumper off to get it off my stupid trailer. Don't get a Camaro. Especially if they say it doesn't start and it's the starter or something. Don't buy it. This thing sucks. Only positive, it's a manual, and I could buy another one of these engines for like 300 bucks. It's the only good thing. But I have to take out the entire subframe, and I don't want to do that. I hate doing that. Why not just get a cherry picker, pull motor? Oh, what? I can't do that. You want to know why? Because those freaking transmission bolts can't be reached. You can't get it out with just a cherry picker, okay? You can't. This stupid thing sucks so much. The lower intake gasket blew up, causing all the coolant to dump in the engine. All of the coolant. This is what the lower intake gasket looks like. Sometimes they look a little different. This one, it messed up one of these little plastic ones. You can feel it's flush on most of these. It just dumped oil into it. Or not oil, water. This is what first bowl looked like. There was a lot more, but I accidentally spilled some. And that's the second one. Terrible, terrible, terrible. There's no positives about this. And bumpers cracked. Everything sucks. Can't have one good thing. I only paid 750 bucks for this Camaro, and it sucks. I'm gonna pretty much pay $1,000 bucks because I gotta get another motor for like 300. This sucks. I'm gonna sell it. Anybody want to buy it? I got. I'll give you a good deal. You give me a case of beer. No, I don't like beer. Tastes like piss. Just somebody take it off my hands. This thing is ass. Terrible car. Terrible, terrible. The interior is freaking spotless. Oh my gosh, she's clean. She's mint. Except for that, it's missing that. And also the boot fell down. And also that's cracked. And also that's broken. And also that's ripped. But other than that, the headliner is nice. Everything's real nice in this car. But you want to know what kind of idiocracy they have going on now? Look. Why the hell is the goddamn... If I get into it. Don't buy a freaking Camaro. They suck. Oh, my hood struts are broken. Or trunk struts. Why in the fuck did they cut the hole to the fuel pump? Why did they do that? Why? Is it that hard to just drop the tank? You're taking away good value from my car. Why the fuck would you do that? I hate this thing. The thing is terrible. Don't buy a Camaro. Especially if they say low mileage. It's the worst part about it. Because it was low mileage. Until it blew the up. This thing is terrible. Don't buy a Camaro. Unless you want to work for it. Do not buy a Camaro. Don't do it.
Guys, I think I fucked up. I think that's water.
She's off the trailer. Very little issues. She only lightly bumped into my truck on the way down. Just barely. Put a little scuff in the bumper. Where is it? Yeah, I think it's that mark right there. But plastic bumper, I don't care. Plastic on metal. This was here before, but cushion the blow. This didn't have anything bad with it. Easy to pull off trailer, real light. No really troubling issues. Nothing to do now except for go get it, or go get the body on a hoist. I don't know if these are the mounts to lift it up on, or if I just lift from this frame rail right here and there under the battery cover. But yeah, I've got to lift up the body, take the motor down, so have the whole car lift up, motor come down with this wheel and then this wheel and all the suspension stuff with it come down with it. And that also includes the transmission back behind it and then parts of the exhaust. And we'll just roll it out. You don't even really have to unbolt the drive shaft or anything, because it just slides out the tail end of the transmission, so really no issues. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of work, nothing too much, just gonna be annoying. That's the main aspect. Really time consuming. Really wish it was ready like right now, but I don't think it's gonna be able to get ready right now. I was hoping I could have had it actually this week done, so, or I mean last week, but I'm hoping that I can actually get it done this week. So I'll have to go pick up the motor soon that I'm gonna put in it. I think I'm gonna put like a old Buick LeSabre engine, just another V6, or I could go much cooler route and just get a 5.7. But the issue is I can't really find a transmission that'll fit it for less than like $500. So that's just a pain in itself. I don't see the reason why I should go get a T56 transmission just to swap that out, or swap out my T5. It's not a crazy horsepower difference, not unless I'm souping it up, going crazy with it. I think at most I'm getting about 50 or 60 horsepower, but it's not a crazy difference. It's just more gas mileage. That's the thing. Now, another thing I've noticed about this engine, though, it's had a lot of idiotic fixes. We got this hose kind of thingamabobby right here, because they broke the plastic clips here because they couldn't figure out how to take it off. So they broke this, and they also broke this, and they just put some pipe tape and pipe dope around it, and then shoved their custom adapter piece, which was absolutely leaking. They shoved that on, and it sucked. It may have contributed to the engine blowing up. And there's also some goo coming out of here in this water pump, I'm pretty sure. There's some goo on there. So this engine was probably screwed from the start, to be honest. There has been a lot of ignorant fixes, it looks like. So I guess I'm gonna have to fix everything else. There's also some wiring issues from rodents, because this bad boy was sitting outside since before the first owner got it, I believe. So I believe this was it was set in a field for a while, I feel like, because there's a bunch of field mice droppings all around it. Like over here, here's some junk. Doesn't look like field mice droppings, but tag ain't bad. I believe it has been sitting out in a field, though. So someone was they fixed it good enough to drive, and then they just kept going with it. That's probably why the fuel pump was cut out, to be honest. So other than that, couple things I gotta fix. I'll just have to drop down everything, which requires me to take off these two front ones, I believe, and just a bunch of transmission stuff. Got to take off the clutch master cylinder, and just the hydraulic lined up clutch, pretty much. I just got to take that off, and then the exhaust, a couple bits of the exhaust off. Other than that, I'll be pretty much done to just drop it out. I think it's this bar, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts on that side, another 4 bolts on that side, and that'll really loosen it up. Then I gotta do engine mounts and then shocks. So these 2 bolts, so easy to take it out. I'll probably have that done by the end of the week, or maybe at the start of the next. Shouldn't be too bad, but we'll be back with that sooner or later. The Camaro engine is free. It's out of the car, or completely loose out of the car. We got some exhaust hanging down right there. Is where it's gonna disconnect. If it'll focus, right there. That's where it's gonna disconnect when we try to pull it out, and then right there, it's gonna pull out of the transmission. See the gear shifter right there? It's gonna pull right out there. Probably gonna leak a crap ton of fluid. You can see it's already trying to just barely come out right there already. But yeah, almost done. Pretty much completely freed from the car. All I gotta do now is lift up this front end. I'm probably gonna do it that bar right in there. This thing. Probably gonna do it on that. But I gotta remove this and this, like a couple bolts, nothing crazy. But there's nothing attached to the engine and the car. Wait, there is one thing. Over there, right over here, we got these cables going through the firewall. But I gotta get this cable out of the firewall so I can get all this to come out with the engine, because I don't want to completely have to undo everything on the engine transmission. I already have a lot of stuff on the front undid and a bit of the stuff on the top, but I'm not doing all along the back of the transmission. It would be easy, but I don't want to do it. But other than that, I might remove that oil fill spot to pull it out, so it's a little bit more even of a surface to yank out from, instead of just having one high spot right there. But other than that, we should be good. About get this assembly right here a couple feet off the ground, 2, 3, how tall is that? About 2 or 3 feet off the ground, maybe 4. Nothing crazy, just enough to pull it out. But should be pretty easy, actually. Should have no issues, really. I think the only other thing I can think of that's gonna have to come off is that torque arm right there, that piece. I don't like how it's bent down like this, but I'm too lazy to grab it. And I also didn't put the transmission on a dolly or anything. I just kind of let it fall. But when we pull it out, or when we pull out the motor, it should just slide right out. It shouldn't stay in or anything. But it's not too bad. Really easy. No, this was hell. And you see that, where is it? That is the stupid clutch line quick disconnect. That is the worst thing to ever exist in all of existence. I will never work with a Chevy clutch line like that ever again. I would rather cut off my hands and stick them in my butt than work with that again. Because that literally was that's a nightmare. I hate Chevy for doing that. I love all the plugs and connectors being easy as hell to work on. I love how I don't need a pick on all of them, and I can just pop them off with my fingers. But that alone makes this whole job just the most pain in the ass experience ever. Literally terrible. But you can see right here, we're nice and cleared out. really good, really clear. Should be easy to pull it out. I want to get it out enough where I can have this come from the bottom too, because I don't want to have to take this off. It is just 4 bolts, and I think 1 or 2 more on this, but I don't want to do it. But other than these, this shouldn't be bad getting it out. Matter of fact, it should be fairly easy actually. But just trying to get it out is the hard part. I'm more worried about putting it back in, because that is going to be absolute hell. Putting this whole engine assembly and everything back in this car and trying to line up all the bolts and whatnot is just gonna kill me, I swear. Like, I'm gonna die, I feel like, because why do I have to drop the entire subframe to do this? Why do I have to drop it all? I tried to get the motor out first, but you can't get that last transmission bolt right at the top. You can't get that unless you have the arm strength of 6 gorillas or a magic torque, or not torque bar, breaker bar. You can't get it. You can't get it out. Now I tried lowering it too. You still can't reach anything in there besides like a wrench. So right on top of the motor is just the last one, and you just can't touch it. So I found it easier just to take out the 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and the 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here. Wait a minute. I think it's 3 bolts there, 3 bolts here, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there. Other than that, I found it pretty easy. That was annoying. I shouldn't have to remove the master cylinder to get this off, or to get these 2 Torx bits out. I shouldn't have to do that. Why would they make it where I have to pull that off? I have no idea. It's not worth the effort for that. It's ignorant and stupid. I don't know why they decided to make it hard to work on like that. And then also, why did I have to remove the AC compressor to reach that motor mount? Why? Why do I have to do that? Because when I tried to pull it first without dropping the entire K-member, subframe, whatever, when I tried to do that first, I couldn't reach anything. Everything is so convoluted, and the V6 engine is so far back in the car. It's just terrible. They had so much space to work with, because right here is your AC condenser, right here is your radiator, and you have a whole, like, foot worth from here to here worth of just free space. I know they have the V8 engine that goes in here, and it takes it up that room, but they couldn't move this motor up like 5 or 6 inches so it wouldn't hit the firewall on that bolt back there. You can actually see some of the marks right over there where I was trying to get. But, like, I shouldn't have to beat up the firewall to get the motor out. This is bullcrap. But it's terrible. I don't like Camaros. I really don't like Chevy in general. They were like the beginner of just shitty work on cars. I really hate working on this, but I found it fun because, hell yeah, Camaro, yeah, Camaro, yeah, and that's about it. I may swap out this motor, or yeah, I'm absolutely swapping out this motor, but I may get the supercharged version of this motor and just throw that in there, and then swap out the ECU, or get a tunable one, or tune the one that's already in it. But I have no idea what's going to go on after I pull out the motor, because that's a money issue, and I'm a poor man, so I'm going to work with what I got. But I am really excited to get this finished up soon. It took me maybe a week to get this motor out of the car. But that's just because I was being lazy and I tried to do it the easy way, or what I thought was the easy way first, even though I've seen everybody online dropping the entire K-member and drivetrain instead of just pulling the motor out. I saw one person just pull the motor out, but he pulled the transmission out first, which I can assume why he did that. But I have no idea how he reached that top bolt up there, because I've tried all day. I was able to get an impact on it just barely by going from behind and up with a swivel socket, but I still couldn't get enough torque on it. So I have no idea how he did that. I think he might have lowered it a little bit, or lowered the motor a little bit, like at an angle, so he could get more room up on top. Or he had it lifted up like that. He probably jacked up transmission. But I only have one jack, so I'm working with what I got. And I should get this done pretty soon. I'm hoping that I can get the supercharged motor, actually, because it's just the same exact platform, just with a supercharger. I think the only difference is I'll have to route the intake pipe around through the front, or around the other side or whatnot. That's really the only difference, because you have the big old pulley on the front. What I'm worried about, though, if I do get the supercharged motor, is that firewall issue where it's just so far back I can't reach anything. Nothing is going to really fit back there, so I don't know how a intake tube is going to comfortably fit in there, or at least a well-sized intake tube, because I think the intake's about 3 or 4 inches, maybe 5. I have no idea at the moment, but pretty large of an intake, trying to fit right there and go around it. I don't know how it's gonna work. I might have to cut the firewall. I'm actually fine with that. I might even just route it straight down beside the transmission. I'm cool with that too. But it's not a bad vehicle, I'd say. I respect it. It's not terrible. We'll say the paint is kind of shit, and whatever they put over this hood is also shit. So do not buy a $750 Camaro unless you're ready to work on it. I thought I was just going to be pulling the heads off and fixing it, but turns out it spun a bearing, so I can't do any of that, and I actually am just going to pull the motor and replace everything, or swap the motor pretty much. But I should not have had to do all of this just to get the motor out, because the last time I did this, it was on this little Volkswagen Jetta over here. This was so easy to work on. You can see it, because I can just, you pull off the front. There's the bumper clip to the Camaro. But you can just pull off the front right here, take off the motor mounts, and the entire thing just kind of drops out on to some dollies. And it's really easy to get to. But this is also a front-wheel drive engine. But really, I'm fine with dropping them out. I don't like how I have to I can't remove the front end and pull it off. Why can't I just take off 2 bolts and get this done? This is stupid. I have no idea why Chevy decided to do all that bull crap when they could have just did it like this, or I could have 2 bolts holding that front bumper thing on, and then the motor just kind of comes out the front. I have no idea. I'll see what to do in the future, though. But I do plan on doing some Volkswagen stuff in the future. A little 6-speed Volkswagen. But mostly at the moment is Camaro. So once I get the Camaro running, I might buy a little Volkswagen Beetle kind of thing, because there's one I'm interested in, and it's got a really cool, stupid paint job that makes it more funny. So I don't think there's much wrong with Volkswagens. I don't like the bubbly look of the Beetles, of the new ones. nor do I like the even newer ones. I can tolerate the older bubbly looks, like the 2004 and lower. I think they stopped the manufacturing of those in like 2005. But I'm cool with those. I'm not as cool with the new ones. They're kind of like a rounded out. They look like a spaceship, sort of. Like they're kind of just round. No kind of bubbliness. No kind of... You can't... They don't have the feel of an old Beetle. Or even the new old Beetle. Like, there's no taste in them. And I think the only cool thing about the new ones is just the motor, the diesel motors on some of them. That's the only good thing about them, because they're just... That's diesel. You kind of have some more fun, better gas mileage, just a better motor in general, and they last longer than the normal Volkswagen ones. I do recommend getting them in a standard if you can, because those transmissions in these, they just liquefy themselves. They love to be just crap. So mostly just take care of your cars, whatnot. But back to this. This is hell. I never thought I'd suffer so much on such a simple car. I'm cool with doing this. But why? Why can't I can't just pull the motor out, throw it away, put a new one back in it? There's no point in having this whole debacle of, oh, you gotta take off the K member, the K member, and then you gotta take off your shocks or your struts and yada yada. You can't take off your struts. You gotta take off your master cylinder. Oh no. Now you gotta take off your clutch line. You gotta take off the clutch line. That is where most of the pain of this started. Do not try to take out the engine on the manual ones of these unless you want to spend an hour fighting that clutch line. I even went and bought the tool for it. It didn't help. It didn't help at all. I almost had to just take some vice grips and just snap it off on the side, and once the motor was out, just replace the master cylinder or whatnot. Because I was not trying to go and undo the master cylinder over there. I was definitely not trying to do that, because I'm not crawling under that dash again. Do not try to take the motor out of these manual ones unless you want to fight that master cylinder to death. To death. And I mean it. And also, don't try to unbolt the exhaust while the motor's still in the car. Like me. Don't assume that, oh, it'll be easy just to get the motor out and take it out and leave the transmission in the car and leave the whole bottom assembly in the car. Do not assume that. Don't do it. Don't try to do it. I spent a whole day, pretty much, cutting exhaust bolts because a couple of them broke and a couple of them didn't. Do not waste your time with that. Just take off the exhaust mount at the end where it couples together, and then drop the entire subframe K-member, whatever, undo your transmission, whatnot, and just pull it out. It'll come out that way, and you won't have any issues. Now, if you're worried about AC, whatnot, just stop being a wuss, okay? That's the best I can say to you. This one had already all leaked out, so don't call the EPA on me or whatnot. But it's just some AC lines. If you're really that worried, you can call someone to evacuate it for you or whatnot. Or you can evacuate it yourself. I don't have the tools to do that. This never had AC. And it probably never will again, actually, because I have to put a vacuum on the AC compressor, and I don't really want to do that. I kind of just want to throw a belt back on this and have it run. Now, if I do ever want to fix the AC, I'm kind of cool with it. I guess it wouldn't be bad to fix the AC. The only thing I'm worried about is just having to get the tools to do it. I can go to, I think, AutoZone and rent the vacuum machine that puts a vacuum on the compressor and on the entire stuff. But I don't want to accidentally break anything because I've never used one of those before. So really it's just kind of I'll do it, but I don't want to. But really easy to get this done. Just remember, don't try to take the motor out first. That's one of them. And also, that clutch line will be the death of you. It will be the death of you. Don't do it. Do not try to remove that clutch line without just trying. You will suffer. Don't do it. Don't do it. The engine is out. There's no more engine. It's gone. They took it. They snatched it. They repoed my shit.
Where's the tires? Here's the transmission.
Got your transmission. It's gonna rain, so we got covered.
And
They stole it. They repoed it.
they even stole all of our fancy stuff.
They took all our intakes. They're gonna take our crank. They stole it, man.
Where'd all the oil go?
Yo, I don't know. But we gotta put another motor in it. We still got the Jetta motor, so maybe we can swap it with the Jetta motor. I don't know. We'd have to build a custom transmission bracket.
I don't feel like doing that.
Shut up, Hunter. But we got the tram engine. We got the exhaust. Look what they did. See this? This is the only kind of good weld. And then you got this freaking puddle
Yeah, that one's fine.
right next to this. Who decided to cut it right here? That's stupid. But it is what it is. Got the wire hards right there. We got the K member bracket, whatever. We got power steering right there because I didn't want to disconnect it, and I also stripped the bolt. But she's out. She's free. She got good tires.
We lifted it up with the tractor.
She's free. If you want to buy it, $2,000 right now. Come get it. You gotta get the motor and put it in yourself, though. That's what you gotta do, man. To the people who want to know how to just lift it up, just like bench press it. You gotta bench press the car to pull out the motor.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I'm so strong, guys.
You bench press the car to get it out, and you should be good. Nothing too bad. You gotta take everything off, though. That's the only thing about this Camaro is if you want to remove the engine, you gotta remove everything else with the engine, which is kind of disappointing. I didn't want to do that, and I don't like doing that.
Totally a fun experience, guys.
Yeah. So
You learn a lot.
great.
And you hurt yourself. But, you know.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
But to lift it, you lift it from here. There's like something for the horns over here.
Yeah,
don't
we
care that
haven't
much.
checked if that's broken or not.
It's probably not. But you lift it from there and there, or you can lift it from this metal bracket right here. I recommend you lift it from here if you want to do it with a engine crane.
Well, we didn't want to
But
move all the
if you want to use a tractor, just pull here. I also recommend taking off your hood. Absolutely take off your hood. It makes everything so much easier. But yeah, super easy. And
super easy, sir.
yeah, it's super easy. I hate Camaros. Don't buy a Camaro.